Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is you are in the world. Welcome to another edition of Living World of Darkness. It's time for the Big Apple Takedown, the Hunter venue. The previous evening's encounter with somebody from her past left Juno in a bit of a state of, not say shock, but sort of a disillusioned unsettlement, having to say goodbye to someone that she had grown fond of, but for the better for many, many individuals, not just including themselves. As it comes up on the just past noon, getting closer to 1 o'clock, the tail end of lunch hour, Juno finds herself heading away from the tattoo parlor on the skateboard that she purchased while away, and is currently making her way down the street towards a pizzeria she had heard good things about. Unbeknownst to her, that as she crosses this threshold and comes into view of the place where she wants to go, that she may or may not catch the eye of a certain individual with a rather boisterous and bubbly personality. We start our scene here.
You really think you're gonna walk past this florist right here, and Magenta points up, and not say hello? I mean, granted, you didn't really know that I work here, but I do, and now you do know, and now from now on, you must come and say hi whenever you pass by.
Having stopped rather suddenly, I'm guessing Magenta probably jumped right out of the door.
Oh, jumped right out of the door. Absolutely. Just like big, planted her feet flat right in front of you, hands on her hips, and she just starts just having the conversation with you. Yep.
Juno has to do all she can to avoid just running Magenta over on the skateboard, kind of kicking it out from underneath of her, and sort of jumping and grabbing it in midair and coming to a kind of a running stop, kind of jumping halfway, and she's almost kind of leaning over Magenta at this point, as Magenta's saying, you're going to have to come by and say hi. Juno's eyes are about the size of saucers at this point, as she's just nodding.
Oh, yeah, so this is my florist, and it's a really nice place, and if you ever need flowers for anything, you should just let me know.
I don't often get flowers, but I can start.
It's always a good reason to come in and say hello, unless you just want to, like, talk about stuff.
We can talk. If you want to talk.
Cool. Well, I am a bit hungry, and it is lunch hour, so let's go across the street at Gino's and get some, like, antipasto or something.
Oh, I could go for some za right about now.
And Magenta will just kind of, like, wrap her one arm around yours and start walking across Bay Boulevard towards Gino's.
Juno will carry the skateboard under the same arm with the courier bag. So, anything new and interesting happened since the last time we met?
I'd rather not think of the last part of what happened when we met. But, no, not really. I mean, I don't really do that much. Things have been very quiet. But I can only assume with the arrival of you and that Richard fellow, and she will giggle, thinking about him and his, booze houndery ways. And so I can only assume that things are going to start changing again.
Well, the one thing about the messengers is they always seem to know right when to start getting us going, because there's usually trouble on the horizon. So you're probably right, yeah.
Well, yeah, I have this thing. It's called common sense. It's very nice to have.
Well, I've heard it's not very common these days, so good on you.
Yeah, Joe, I have to really put a lot of effort into it. Sometimes things just kind of like go right across me and I don't notice them. But then I go, you know what? Magenta, you have common sense. You need to think something of this. And it usually takes me a second, but then it comes.
Juno chuckles to herself as she walks up to the counter and orders 2 slices of pepperoni pizza.
And Magenta will say, and spaghetti pasta.
And Juno will pay for their meal, because why not?
Well, hey, if it's free, it's for me.
And she goes to sit down at a table nearby, sort of pushing out the chair for Magenta to sit in across from her.
Oh, she will gladly sit down into it, and it's not like she's just gonna, like mundanely sit. Everything she does has to be, a bit on the flamboyant side, because, I mean, come on, look at her. So she's just gonna pop into the seat, and then put her hands in her lap, and then wait, because this is the type of place that'll actually bring you the food. Ha ha.
Well, as they sit down, Juno will take a sip on the iced tea she ordered.
Ooh, root beer, thank you very much. Fountain all the way.
And as she sits down, she sets the messenger bag up on the edge of the table with the patch side out, which has a very, very specific symbol on it, one that Magenta would definitely recognize as the symbol of those of the School of Vengeance.
And she's just gonna, smack it. Whack. Okay. So, is that also a sign for times to come?
It's a sign that represents me and those like me.
Well, that's understandable, but you have not been around for some time. So, and apparently you have history here.
I do. I grew up here.
Okay, do tell me why you left.
I was getting too close to something. And when a distraction came along on the mailing list, I jumped at it. I got really close to something I was working on. And that something was getting a little too attached to me. So there's multiple reasons, but that's kind of the main one. I got too involved with my work. I needed to break free for a bit.
Well, in seeing your strengths presented from our first meeting, it really shows that you could have been of quite use to us in Coney Island months ago.
Yeah, I'm still fuzzy on that. She kind of leans over the table slightly. I have a place there that's I set up with another one of us before he took off to stay with one of our charges. So I'm kind of surprised that things went down there and it never got to my attention.
It's not like we weren't loud about it. So, I mean, the amount of damage was pretty severe. But, I mean, I guess just happens.
Any injuries?
Oh, plenty. Many of us. I spent many months in the hospital myself.
How many of you?
I know me and Alex, definitely. I was in and out a lot, meaning sleep, consciousness. So a lot of my time spent in the hospital was straight sleeping in recovery. I took a lot of damage.
Magenta can see that there's a certain look on Juno's face that sort of expresses a certain guilt, I suppose, as if not being there. If Magenta is also a native. Should have been one of the people she was actively working to protect.
Well, you didn't know me. I had just come into sight. I had a friend. He stumbled upon me myself, and it was just. I was very inexperienced. I shouldn't have been there personally. But I was just so happy to be part of something greater than just being a florist. And Juno will see the expression on Magenta's face change to more sincere. I shouldn't have even been there. I probably compromised, and that's the reason why Alex got hurt.
Juno takes one of the napkins and hands over a pen. If you had a mark like mine, what would yours look like? She hands it over.
Now, my fingers are up for an OOC.
Mm-hmm.
I would be putting an innocent sign up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, good. I just wanted to make sure. And that's exactly what she will do. She will just draw the little innocent symbol. But she will do it very crudely, almost to make it look like it's just been a doodle. Like she's been sitting there doodling this little thing like that she just, quote-unquote, pulled out of her butt for anybody that else is looking over her shoulder.
Juno leans forward and just kind of pinches the bridge of her nose. Oh, dear. So you really are one of my charges now.
Please, relative silence in the room first.
Louder, Lisa, we can't hear you.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So if I am, well, okay. I hope I don't cause you too much problems.
Well, I'm no guardian. Not like some of the others I've met, anyway. Though I do know how to do some of the things they can do. But sometimes the best defense is someone who can provide a good offense. Generally speaking, when we do face what we're meant to face down, we usually take the brunt of what's going on.
So I guess I'm not combat ready, huh?
I haven't seen you in combat.
My last occurrence didn't turn out too well, and she'll grab her side.
Well, bad things sometimes happen. She'll pull up her left sleeve and expose some of the burn marks on her upper arm and her forearm.
Hey, and she'll grab your sleeve and pull it back down. This is no place to show stuff like that.
It's just a burn mark.
But this is a place of people eating. Some people might be grossed out and accidentally see your burn marks. I'm just trying to be considerate.
Juno chuckles to herself and just kind of pats Magenta's hand. I think we're okay, sweetie.
Well, if you must.
But I I got this facing down. I don't even know really how to explain it. A corruptor. It managed to take hold of someone's body, and it can control fire and holes.
Well, that's not good.
No. And unfortunately, most of the individuals that I went along with are not there anymore. No, I know one of them managed to escape and took what we meant to save to a safe place and has been there ever since. But I don't know what happened to the other two, Matt and Charlie.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
The people that I went and did this with, Matt and Charlie, I haven't heard from them in a long time.
Maybe it's time for you to try to find them.
I figure if they want to see me again, they'll get in touch with me. Besides, one of them was kind of a psychopath, so maybe it's better that I'm not hanging around with him.
You can come on in now.
Okay. So, in the corner of the pizzeria on her own, occasionally looking over and watching the pair of you talking, is a woman on a very distinctive laptop. The laptop is designed so that it's the back case of it, which is facing you, is painted like a Medusa's head, and the eye sockets have been cut away, so the green glow of the electronics inside shines through and gives the sort of the imagery a kind of glowing serpentine appearance. Very customized. And the woman behind it occasionally glances over at the pair of you, almost curiously, before going back to typing on her computer.
I will try and roll perception and alertness here to see if I notice. Nope, don't see shit.
Okay.
So Juno's paying more attention to the very loud-looking Magenta with her retrograde attire.
I guess Magenta can make a roll. It's just like when someone's staring at you from behind you and you kind of get that feeling you need to turn around.
That would be perception.
Yeah.
And what?
Alertness.
Well, one of you said one and the other said the other.
Alertness.
One success.
Yeah.
She'll twitch her shoulder and move slightly uncomfortably, and she'll lean in and say, "You ever get that feeling that you're just like being watched?"
More often than you know, but is this specific?
I just have this feeling of someone watching me.
Jude will scan the room again, scrutinizing this time. And this time comes up with something. And she kind of looks over Magenta's shoulder at the person in the back of the laptop. And then she'll look back at Magenta. I think somebody's spying on us.
And Magenta will calmly look at Juno and say, well, I think I'll leave this up to you. I must get back to work anyway. And she'll get up and scamper off back to work.
Juno looks a bit perplexed, but stands up. And she walks across the diner, grabbing her bag, and she comes up to the table where this individual's laptop is, and she just drops the bag on it.
On the laptop or on the table?
On the table, yeah, not on the laptop.
Okay, the laptop. I mean, you can get a bit closer. You see, she's got a bag of her own, like a satchel type thing. It's just plain black. And she's dressed like in the left-hand picture. So her hair's down, t-shirt, jeans, and she looks at the. She's tapping away on the screen on various different prompt screens, and when you put the bag down, she looks up at you with quite distinctive green eyes, like sort of like acknowledging that you're there, and then goes back to typing.
Juno sits down at the table. So, do you make it a habit of just staring at random people in diners, or is that just a me and my friend thing?
She holds her finger up to you like, wait a second. And then she types something quite fast, and then presses on the same key repeatedly, and then goes, "Ha, got you, asshole." And then she sits back a little bit from the computer and tilts her head. Sorry, what?
Couldn't help but notice you were checking me out from across the diner.
I wasn't checking you out.
Yeah, no, that's what they all say, and then before you know it, they're asking me for my number. It's this whole thing.
She rolls her eyes.
But seriously, why are you staring at me?
I wasn't staring at you.
You were staring at me, or at least you were staring at my friend. One or the other.
I had a quick look-see. You can never be too careful these days. Government spies and all that. Wishy-washy. But, no, I wasn't staring at you. I was, just, eating my pizza. She points to the piece of pizza next to her. And, mind her own business. She carries on typing.
You were not minding your own business, dear.
Uh-huh. So you're gonna smash my head into the desk or cut me or what? Because otherwise, time is money.
What? Why would I smash your head into the table?
Well, normally when people tell me to stop staring at them, it's because they don't like being looked at, and then they punch me in the face.
Oh, I'm more curious as to why you were looking.
Ah, guess I've got wandering eyes. She smiles.
Well, you do, but I don't know. Maybe I'm getting way too paranoid for my own good.
Join the club. I'm the founder.
Yeah, somehow I think my club probably supersedes yours. Kind of fanatical.
When she reaches for the piece of pizza that's left, you can see she had like a plateful, like an individual serving of pizza. It's one last piece left, and she reaches to pick it up, and you can see the visionary symbol tattooed on her wrist.
Gino looks down, then looks up at her, and places her right hand on top of Alexandra's wrist, covering up the symbol, but exposing her own on the back of her hand, just below the knuckle.
Hey, if you wanted some pizza, you should have just asked me. Oh. She looks at the symbol. Well, that makes sense.
What are the chances that I run into 5 of you people in less than 2 weeks?
You people, we prefer visionary Americans, but I'll take you people at a push. She tugs her hand away, like towards, like not so much she's like, oh, get off me, but more like I kind of want to eat my pizza. So just sort of like very gently pulls her hand away to put the pizza towards her mouth.
So, do you have a moniker I can call you by?
I'm Alex, but Alex, Alexandra. My parents call me that. Yeah. Or my internet friends know me as Medusa. She taps the computer.
Well, you can refer to me as Juno.
Ah. Parents into mythology, were they?
Actually, it kind of goes back to a really old joke from back when I was in middle school. I didn't have AOL like everybody else. I had Juno, the email service.
Ah, yeah.
So I was the lame duck of or the lame kid. Growing up.
Well, in my experience, the lame kids always go most interesting.
This is true.
I don't really think it's not a coincidence that we ran into each other as such. I mean, I got an email a couple of weeks ago telling me to come and move to New York, so here I am. And I guess that was for a reason. Reason that's probably not clear yet. But
Well, it's putting me on edge that there's been this much activity and so many people are getting drawn to a central point.
yeah, from my experience, you guys normally are on edge.
Honestly, we're not that bad compared to the other things I hear about out there.
It's not my first rodeo, so.
So how long have you been doing this for?
About 5 years now. I tend to give people the... She puts her hand up, like, indicating towards the sky. The outer perspective on their inward conflicts. I'm, you know, I'm the brains of the operation, and people are going to do what they have to do. I'm like the Giles to your Buffy. Capiche?
Okay. Not the allegory I was expecting, but I'll take it.
It's the easiest way to explain it, especially to newbies, which I'm guessing from the haggard expression, you're not one of them.
No, unfortunately, I'm not. No longer bright-eyed and bushy-tailed like my friend.
Well, I haven't exactly had the memo yet about what I'm surely supposed to be doing, but I'm guessing if we stay in contact, something will happen sooner or later. That's in some way relevant.
Probably. She'll reach down and take one of the napkins and use the pen to write her mailing list name, and then slide it over to Alex.
Alex takes a little leather pouch out of her boot. She puts her boot up, and she's got this like impossibly high new rock platform type things on. And somewhere zipped in there, you can see there's like cigarettes, USB cables, all sorts of crap in there. Somewhere in there, she pulls out a little pocket, and there's a business card on it with her number and her email. She passes it over.
She'll take it, look at it.
It just says her name and email address, and it's like on a black card in like cyber green text style. Kind of like a matrixy type thing.
You have many of these?
A few.
Is this your mailing list address?
It's my public contact. But from your mailing list, I could probably find my way around contacting you more privately if I needed to. He smiles.
Sounds like a good plan, then.
Don't be offended if I, do a detailed background check on you. It's my way of saying hello.
Honestly, I'd really prefer if you didn't, but I don't think I could stop you if you wanted to.
Probably not. But I'm not going to go fiddling around with any of your stuff. Just have a quick look and see what's about. It's more of a security measure for me than it is a fuck you to you. I do it to everyone. First dates, the guy that serves me coffee, everybody.
All right, fair enough.
Cool.
Indeed. Well then, Alex, or I don't even know how to shorthand Medusa.
Just Alex, I think. Yeah, I don't really want to. Medusa, Juno, there could be some sort of subculture thing going on there. I don't really want to start a trend.
Well, it's not so much a trend as a defense mechanism to keep us from exposing too much of ourselves to whatever may be out there.
I thought I just got into goth because I like the colour black. She shrugs. Sort of giving you a smile to say, "Hey, baby, hey, I'm joking, but just ease up a little bit."
Juno, having sort of that battle veteran look about her, just kind of rolls her eyes at Alex. Why don't you send me a communication over the mailing list, and maybe we can work out a time to meet somewhere a bit more private and talk a little bit more freely about things.
Now who's trying to pick who up? She smirks. Sure.
Well, I live fast and I die young, so.
Leave a pretty corpse.
That's the plan.
Cool. Yeah, I'll swing you a mail at some point, and we'll arrange something. And maybe you could bring your friend along. So.
Yeah. Sounds like
Cool.
a plan then.
All right.
And Juno will stand up, walk back to her table, get her pasta, or not her pasta, but her slices of pizza to go. Take one look back at Alex before walking out.
But by the time you've got out of the door, she's back on her computer. She's put a headset on, and it looks like she's playing some sort of first-person shooter video game.
And I think there we can end our scene.